Concrete jungles, the enigma of China's ghost cities. China's skyline is an audacious spectacle of modern architecture and ambitious urban planning. Towering skyscrapers pierce the clouds, sprawling residential complexes stretch as far as the eye can see, and state-of-the-art infrastructure connects it all. Yet, amidst this urban sprawl lies a curious phenomenon: ghost cities. Imagine entire cities, complete with skyscrapers, shopping malls, and public transportation, standing eerily empty, streets devoid of the usual hustle and bustle, apartments untouched and unlived in, a silence so profound it's almost deafening. These vacant metropolises, often found in China's interior and outskirts, challenge conventional urban development wisdom. They are a stark juxtaposition of ambition and emptiness, a tangible question mark on the future of urban landscapes. The existence of these ghost cities begs the question: why would China invest so heavily in building cities that remain largely unoccupied? The answer, like the cities themselves, is multifaceted and complex. It delves into the heart of China's economic strategy, social planning, and the delicate balance between ambition and reality. Some dismiss these ghost cities as white elephants, colossal failures of urban planning. Others see them as long-term investments, strategic moves in China's quest for economic dominance. A building dreams, the unconventional urbanization strategy. China's approach to urbanization is unique, a bold experiment in large-scale urban development. Unlike the organic growth of cities in many parts of the world, driven by population influx and economic opportunity, China is building cities first and hoping the people will follow.
It's a proactive, almost preemptive form of urbanization, fueled by the belief that if you build it, they will come. This approach stems from China's desire to maintain its economic momentum. With a rapidly growing middle class and a shrinking rural population, the government sees urbanization as key to sustaining economic growth. By building cities ahead of demand, China aims to attract investment, create jobs, and provide housing for its citizens, ensuring a smoother transition from an agricultural to an industrial and consumer-driven economy.
This strategy is not without its critics. Skeptics argue that building cities without a guaranteed population base is a recipe for economic disaster, leading to wasted resources and unsustainable debt. They point to the risk of creating ghost cities as evidence of the flaws in this approach. However, proponents of China's model counter that these cities are not failures, but rather long-term investments. They argue that the current emptiness is a temporary phase, a necessary step in a grander plan. They believe that as China's economy continues to grow and its population becomes increasingly urbanized, these cities will eventually reach their full potential, transforming from ghost towns into bustling metropolises. Tales of two cities, success stories, and stagnant silhouettes. The narrative of China's ghost cities is not a monolithic one. While some cities remain eerily empty, others have defied expectations, transforming from deserted landscapes into thriving urban centers. These success stories offer valuable insights into the factors that contribute to the success or failure of China's city-building endeavors.
One such example is the city of Shenzhen, once a small fishing village that was designated as China's first special economic zone in the late 1970s. With government support and foreign investment, Shenzhen underwent a remarkable transformation, evolving into a bustling metropolis and a global hub for technology and innovation. Shenzhen's success story highlights the importance of economic drivers in attracting residents and businesses to new urban centers. By offering tax incentives, streamlined regulations, and a business-friendly environment, Shenzhen was able to attract companies and entrepreneurs, which in turn created jobs and stimulated economic growth. This influx of economic activity naturally attracted residents, transforming the city from a sleepy village into a dynamic urban center.
In contrast, cities that have failed to attract businesses and residents often lack these crucial economic drivers. They may be located in remote areas with limited access to transportation and infrastructure, making it difficult for businesses to operate and for residents to find work and build a life. The contrasting fortunes of cities like Shenzhen and its less fortunate counterparts underscore the importance of strategic planning and execution in urban development. Faced with the growing issue of ghost cities, the Chinese government has embarked on a series of initiatives aimed at breathing life into these vacant spaces. Recognizing that economic incentives are crucial for attracting residents, The government has introduced a range of policies designed to make these cities more appealing.
These initiatives include offering housing subsidies, tax breaks for businesses, and creating special economic zones to attract investment and stimulate job creation. The government hopes that by making these cities more affordable and providing economic opportunities, people will be more likely to relocate from rural areas or smaller cities.
In addition to economic incentives, the government is also focusing on improving the social infrastructure of these cities. Recognizing that people are more likely to relocate to places with good schools, hospitals, and cultural amenities, the government has been investing heavily in building and improving these facilities.
New schools and universities are being established, hospitals are being upgraded, and cultural centers, parks, and recreational facilities are being built to enhance the quality of life in these cities. The hope is that by creating a more attractive and livable environment, people will be more inclined to put down roots.
However, despite these efforts, attracting residents to ghost cities remains a challenge. Many of these cities are located in remote areas, far from established economic hubs, and lacking the social networks and cultural vibrancy that attract residents to more established urban centers. The impact of China's ghost cities extends far beyond its borders, creating ripples that are felt in economies around the world. The sheer scale of construction in China has created a massive demand for raw materials, driving up prices for everything from steel and cement to copper and aluminum.
This surge in demand has been a boon for resource-rich countries such as Australia, Brazil, and Canada, which have benefited from increased exports and higher commodity prices. However, it has also fueled concerns about resource depletion and environmental degradation.
The construction boom in China has also created jobs and economic opportunities in other countries. Chinese construction companies have been increasingly active in overseas markets, undertaking large-scale infrastructure projects in Africa, Asia, and Latin America.
These projects have created jobs and stimulated economic activity in these regions, contributing to their development. However, the influx of Chinese companies and workers has also sparked concerns about labor standards, environmental practices, and the potential displacement of local businesses.
The global impact of China's ghost cities is a complex and multifaceted issue. The rapid pace of urbanization in China has raised concerns about the environmental sustainability of its city-building model. The construction industry is a major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, and the sheer scale of construction in China has significant implications for climate change.
The production of cement, steel, and other building materials is energy intensive and releases large amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Moreover, the construction of new cities often involves clearing forests and other natural habitats, further exacerbating climate change and biodiversity loss.
In addition to its environmental impact, the construction of ghost cities also raises questions about resource use and waste. The production of building materials requires vast amounts of water, energy, and raw materials, many of which are finite resources.
The construction of cities that remain largely unoccupied represents a significant waste of these precious resources. Moreover, the maintenance of these empty cities, from powering streetlights to treating wastewater, consumes additional energy and resources, further increasing their environmental footprint.
Recognizing these challenges, the Chinese government has taken steps to promote more sustainable urban development practices. The phenomenon of China's ghost cities stands as a powerful testament to the country's ambition, its willingness to embrace unconventional approaches, and the complexities of managing rapid urbanization. These vacant metropolises, often perceived as symbols of excess and economic miscalculation, represent a bold experiment in urban planning, one that challenges conventional notions of how cities evolve and function.
While the jury is still out on whether this grand experiment will ultimately succeed, there's no denying that it has captivated the world's attention. The economic implications of these ghost cities are significant. On one hand, they represent a massive investment in infrastructure, creating jobs and stimulating economic activity.
They have the potential to become engines of future growth, attracting businesses and residents as China's economy continues to develop. On the other hand, they also pose a potential risk. If these cities remain unoccupied, they could become a drag on the economy, representing wasted resources and missed opportunities.
The Chinese government's efforts to attract residents and businesses to these cities will be crucial in determining their ultimate fate. The existence of these ghost cities also raises profound questions about the nature of urban development. In an era of unprecedented urbanization, with more and more people moving to cities around the world, China's experiment offers both lessons and cautionary tales.